time for round 2 of speedrunning Minecraft prisons. I've picked out my next batch of victims, and I'll be honest, I'm not very intimidated. First, we have Pandoras Vault. Since I didn't do it last time, I figured we might as well see how long it takes. We have Titan's Vault, Ares Vault, and Taurtarus. In fact, if we have time, I'll even go back and redo the 19th version of Hades Vault, which I've added to the list because it's a completely different prison from the version of Hades Vault I escaped before. So I figured it was worth trying it again. Can any of these prisons react before I've broken out? Let's see. Pandoras Vault, the one who started it all. Sure, it's ancient and we know it's a pretty bad prison, but how bad is it? I thought I'd be trying to find ways to get through the long corridors that lead to the cell, but then I realized the cell is right next to the edge. This means I can just pearl up to where the cell is and chorus fruit straight in. I think I can break into Pandora's Vault in less than 5 seconds. And if that's the case, this will be the fastest I've ever speedrun any prison. Let's see the speedrun. Now, I was aiming for sub 5 seconds, and I managed to get sub 4. Well, Pandora's Vault was pretty pathetic, and we need something a little more interesting than chorus fruiting into a room. So next up we have Mining Blob's next prison, Titan's Vault. Titan was built to be proof of an unbreachable Minecraft prison. But honestly, like Mining Blob's last prisons, I think I can break out in less than 30 seconds. First of all, the cell is not too far from the entrance portal, and there's a convenient redstone line that if pearled from would lead straight into the cell. Conveniently, I can enter this redstone line from the portal by using the same pearling upwards strategy. If I crawl into this room, respawn anchor this lantern, and then crawl to this point where I can get to a stand-up position, then I can start vertically pearling again until I get to the pistons that are producing the cell of Titan's Vault. From there, it's a pretty easy entry and escape. Can we get sub 30? Probably. At this point in the video, I honestly started to worry that all of these prisons would be too quick to escape, they wouldn't even be entertaining. Honestly guys, all these places I thought were supposed to be unbreachable haven't even taken over a minute yet. But then came Ares Vault, and my goodness, this prison is overpowered. To begin with, the cell is incredibly far away from the entrance portal, and it is almost impossible to reach the cell otherwise. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of trap portals above the cell room. I can't break a single block because there's a command block with repeating mining fatigue. Every single block that would be air in this prison is filled with block 36, but I can still break out, despite not being able to place anything and not being able to break anything. First off, I can break this nether portal, which provides me with some air blocks that allow me to respawn anchor the floor. The floor has a pattern designed to activate an alarm if blown up, but the alarm system is actually what's going to help me get into the guard room, to quickly get in the hallway before I start getting chased. My objective is to get into the main guard supply room, and I've found a convenient place where I can pearl glitch vertically again. I know I've done a lot of pearl glitching, but it's just such a good strategy. Once I've pearl glitched into the guard room, I just need to find my way to the cell. I can quickly try them through this hallway, and then I come to a room with a closed door. But I kid you not, in spam right clicking trying to figure out what I can do, I found that there's actually one block of air in this room. From here I can place respawn anchor after respawn anchor until I finally make it to the door. Now comes my biggest challenge yet. The cell room itself is obviously completely covered in block 36, so I won't be able to place a bed. Instead, I'm going to have to break his original spawn point and rely on him suiciding as I break it. Now, however could I get to this guard control room that's directly above me? After another sweet session of pearl glitching, I'm in the main guard control room, and in just a few moments, I can blow up the bed. Maybe at the very least, I can get less than a minute 30. This is one of the most challenging escapes I've done yet. Let's begin. Up to this point, this is the longest I've ever taken on a prison, and yeah, you can discount it for the fact that it uses a couple of cheaty things, but that's still pretty good. Next, we have Taurtarus, prison designed to be better than Titan, and is it? Up to this point, every mining blob prison I've escaped has taken less than 30 seconds, and I'm willing to uphold that record, so I'm still going for sub 30 on Taurtarus. Now, the designs are a little bit more sophisticated, but the escape plan itself is about the same. Pearl into a redstone line that gets me closer to the cell room, and then get to the cell room. I'm going to have to go through the guard section, but I'll have Depth Strider and Soul Speed 3 so I can get through here in just a couple moments. It's just a quick Pearl glitch into the piston room that produces the cell. Alright, pretty impressive competition so far. But now it's time for Hades Vault once again. In my last video, I did a different version of Hades Vault, and it is so different, you might as well consider this to be a completely different prison. First of all, the inside is now wither-proof. I can't place any withers nor respawn anchors, and there's Swiss cheese above this room, so that I can't pearl glitch out. Well, that's not entirely true. I don't know if it's a fault of Death Creeper or something wrong with this version. I don't know, but there's just one gap where you can pearl glitch that leads directly to the guard control room. Now I know that there's a compost glitch that can see me, so I'm going to be using the same invisibility trick I used in Odysseus's vault, so that I'm harder to see when I come up. Now I know I sound like Mithridax saying this, but realize that composter glitches can't actually look up, so there's only a short amount of time where they'd even be able to see me. This is most definitely going to start a lockdown, but that's okay. The next hallway I have to get to is completely advanced, and my goodness, Death Creeper is a genius. These piston tunnels are designed knowing exactly the ways you can break through here. These signs stop me from placing respawn anchors, and even if I do, once I try and place pistons so I can retract the netherite blocks, there's a redstone line above this hallway exclusively for the purpose of stopping this specific escape. Sadly, that's not going to stop me, because my escape will involve diagonal pearl glitching. Now, if I pearl glitch into this one block room, there's no way for me to place a respawn anchor to get into the next room. I can't pearl in there because there's still pistons, and I can't blow it up because my hitbox occupies every space that I'm in. So this situation is seemingly impossible. If I can get into crawl mode, I can place a respawn anchor. And you know the quickest way to get into crawl mode? Water. If this is done quickly, I can get here just before the guards get into the next room. When I pearl glitch into the next room, I'm going to place sponges and then wall off the guard entrance so that they can't get into the control room while I spawn in a wither. In the last version of Hades Vault, this escape wouldn't have worked because the cell is much lower down. But since it's been raised to a higher altitude, it is right on level with the guard room. Just a few seconds of withering, and the prisoner and I will be free. I know I said this about Ares Vault, but this is by far the hardest challenge that I've come to yet. Can I escape the final version of Hades Vault?